Welcome to your weekly sales supercharge. And today, the theme, actually, let's just say this week, this month, this year, the theme that seems to be really working for people is setting boundaries. And this conversation, this topic came up over and over and over again this past week on my group coaching call with the women of the 10K club. And we had so many women winning, whether they were signing new clients for the first time, selling art for the first time, feeling finally out of anxiety and more centered and anchored in their bodies. And it was this, and we talked about why and what was happening. It was this continuous process of setting better boundaries. And so I wanted to bring that message to you today because I know in my life, that's definitely one of the areas that's been one of the biggest challenges, right? If you identify as a people pleaser, if you identify as someone who wants to say yes to everything, right? That's kind of become your identity over the years. And look, I'm raising my hand as someone who I think has gotten a lot better in those areas, but I know I still have room to grow. Setting boundaries is so critical. And I found for myself too, as we continue to up level at She Sells and make quantum leaps in terms of clients and revenue and all of that, I've had to learn to really set better boundaries for myself because I want to keep saying yes to everything. And one of the best things I learned at a mastermind that I was at a couple of weeks ago was from Preston Smiles, one of our guest teachers there. And he said, every elevation requires separation. Every elevation requires separation. And I love that. And so those boundaries are critical to be able to continue to grow, but to grow in a way that keeps your energy intact, where you're not stressed out, you're not feeling badly about saying no to stuff. And so I just wanted to, because that seemed to be such a prevalent theme for my clients this past week, I thought, hey, let me share it with you being one of my email list subscribers, and hopefully it'll serve you as well. And I wanted to share with you a couple tips for setting better boundaries in your life and things that work for me too. So the first one, I've just got my list over here, is learn to check in with your body. When you get an opportunity for something, stop saying yes or no. Well, I'm a big fan of saying no quickly, but stop saying yes immediately to things, especially if it's not a hell yes for you. So one of the best things you can do, I teach this to my clients all the time, is when someone asks you to do something, especially if you're like face to face or Zoom to Zoom with them, instead of saying, yes, I can be there, or yes, I'll do it, say, thanks so much for the invitation. Let me check my calendar and get back to you. Let me check my calendar and see if I'm available, and I'll get back to you. And so it gets you off the hook so that you don't feel that in the moment pressure of saying yes. And then what you can do is, even if you know you could do it, you want to check in with your body to see, does doing that feel expansive in my body? Does that make me feel like, oh, yes, this is amazing, I would love to do this? Or do you feel constriction in your body? And that's using your body for feedback is one of my favorite tools. I love it. And it's been one of the most healing things for me in my own life as somebody who overcame eating disorder and sexual assault and a lot of things that really had me disconnect from my body. A lot of the women that I serve have overcome one or more of those things too, or similar things. But our body is an amazing tool, and it will give you feedback on whether something is really a yes for you or whether it's a no for you. And that's when we can learn to only say yes to things that are a hell yes and anything else is a no. That's when we can grow. That's when you've got to learn to say no to things that are like, yeah, that sounds like, yeah, I could, or yeah, I'm good at it, so I'll say yes, or yeah, I'll say this because I'm afraid there's nothing else that's going to come in. That's part of why for me, I've become very upfront about my pricing. And before even getting on a call with a potential private client for a private intensive package, they see my pricing on an intake form because I'm not the cheapest, but I'm also one of the best. And so I'm worth everything I charge and more. But I know for me, any time that I am spending with a client, that's not time that I get to spend with Jack, with Jason, with my family. And so it has to be worth it to me as well. And so I want to invite you to look at, where are you downplaying? Where are you saying yes to things just because you're in fear or scarcity mode, even though your body is telling you no? Because there will be a period when you really lock into this, there will be a period where you're saying no to things before sometimes the better has come in, but we have to start saying no to things that no longer serve to create the space for the better thing to come in. So that's number one, is learn to check in with your body. Number two, make a yes and a no list, or a yay and a nay list. So what are the things that absolutely light you up, that give you joy, that you would do all day long and be happy even if you didn't get paid for them, that really move your sales or your business forward, and that feel life-giving and fun to you. And then everything else goes on that no list. And now it's not that you stop doing it all at once, but it is that when you get asked to do something that falls on that no list, I want you to start looking at either who else could do it, or can you just say no to it? And it's this practice, it's this discipline, but this is what's required for you to elevate to your next level. And then the third, and I was talking with my clients on our 10K Club group coaching call this week, but this is so helpful for anyone in sales. And whether you're a sales role, or whether you're a founder of your company, you're in charge of generating revenue, is make an ideal client requirement checklist. So for you to work with a client, what are your requirements of that client? This is something I learned from one of my mentors, Gina DeVee, and I implemented it. And it was so helpful, because when we get on sales calls or discovery calls, it can feel tempting to go into that convincing energy. Like, let me sell you on why you should work with me. I'm not about convincing anybody to work with me anymore. It's, let's sit back and let's both analyze and evaluate whether we're a good mutual fit. And I need to want to work with you as much as you want to work with me. And so what are the requirements for you of a client who you're going to work with, to pour your heart and soul and time into? For me, it's, they got to pay on time. For me to be able to really serve someone too, and this is no judgment on anyone's faith or spiritual leaning, but I use a lot of language like God and the universe. And so someone needs to, for them to get the best result, they need to be okay with that language in order for us to be able to communicate at the same level. They need to be high vibrational. They need to have a positive attitude. They need to be no excuses. They need to have a big vision and be willing to get out of their own way. They need to be vulnerable. They need to be open. They need to be coachable, because I know that that's when I can really get someone amazing results. And then they're going to get the best results. And it's going to be the most enjoyable for me too, because I'm not trying to fit myself into a box that I don't fit in. And so make that list for you. And then when you're on a discovery or an application call with a client, it's like checking the boxes, right? Do they check this box? Do they check this box? Do they check this box? And if not, I want you to get in the habit of saying, you know what? I really am so glad we connected today. I actually don't think this is going to be the best fit moving forward. Here's why. It's not about making the other person wrong. It's just that there are elements in which you're not aligned. And then you keep it moving and you move on to the next, and you've got an abundance mindset with it. So I'm curious, like, which of those are you going to get better at? Which of those boundary setting techniques are you going to implement this week? Put it in the comments below on this video. And then definitely, because you're getting this video because you're on my email list, so we're not sharing this publicly. If you've got friends, other women in sales, female entrepreneurs who you think would benefit from this, go ahead and tell them to get signed up for this as well, so they can get this weekly free coaching from me. And you can just go to, there's a lot of different ways you can get on the list, but ElyseArcher.com/morning routine will get you on the list. And we'll also get you that great morning routine ebook on how to set up a 6-figure morning routine. So other things going on this week that if you want to take this to the next level, we've got a free masterclass, a live masterclass coming up on Thursday, the 27th at 2:00 Eastern, your first 6 figures, where I'm going to teach you the very simple shift that you need to make to break through 6 figures and then beyond in your income. And I will tell you, it is not about doing more. This is the most important thing. Right now, most likely your strategy has been, let me send more emails. Let me do more social media posts. Let me just push harder. It's not that at all. When I implemented this in 6 weeks, I turned my annual income into my monthly income. So whether you're going for your first 6 figures, or what I found is that I also have a lot of women who register for this who are beyond that, but they want to go to 7 figures, multiple 7 figures, and they want to find out how to do it with more ease, more flow, more fun. Get yourself registered, ElyseArcher.com/6 figures. Plan to be there the full time. It's going to be amazing. You'll get more information on it when you get registered. And then tomorrow we've got episode 100 of the podcast coming out, which is such a crazy milestone, and it makes me happy and just so grateful. And I hope you'll listen. I'm sharing my 5 biggest lessons that I've learned in my life, and they are, I think they will help serve you too. So as always, I'm grateful for you. Shoot me back an email if you have questions on any of this, if anything spoke to you, or if you want to get involved in working with us at any other level. Would love to have you reach out and see how we can help serve. So sending you lots of love and best wishes for a great start to your week. Happy Monday. And I will look forward to seeing you on Thursday at the Masterclass. Again, that's ElyseArcher.com/6figures to get registered. See you soon.